Morning, everyone. Here we are. We're actually going to be recording this today on VE Day, which is why I've kind of gone on like a little bit sort of vintagey. They've got the hair up and everything. And I'm going to be speaking to the SnapBooth company, Becca Spraggs. And Becca happens to have like a sort of really nice vintagey photo booth. So Becca will be coming on in a couple of minutes' time, and she'll be able to sort of tell us all about it and like a little bit more about the business and what they can provide. And with that, I think she's coming. Is she popping on? Yes, I think so. Yeah. There's always a moment where you're kind of waiting for people to sort of pop on and actually go live, and then I'm blethering away to myself here, waiting for you to actually come. Okay. There we are. Becca's just said to me, let me know when to log in, and with that, I've told her, and now she will appear. Okay. Are we ready, Becca? Yeah, I think we are. And with that, she's there. Good morning, Becca. Good morning. I was just telling people there's always like sort of an awkward moment where I'm sitting here talking to myself for a few minutes, just waiting for people to actually log on. But anyway, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steph.
Okay. It's VE Day. So should we say VE Day?
Yeah, happy VE Day to everybody.
Is there such a thing as happy VE Day? I mean, I don't know. Probably.
I suppose so. It's a celebration that the war ended, I suppose. So, yeah I guess
75
so.
years, isn't it? You know, and what? The sun's shining, and it's a nice day.
Lovely.
And it's bank holiday. Not that it makes any difference to anybody anymore, does it? Because we're all, most of us are all kind of sort of like at home. But anyway, happy VE Day, Becca. Okay, so tell me who you are.
Okay, so I'm Becca. I'm the director and business owner of the SnapBooth, and the SnapBooth is a luxury photo booth company based in Cambridgeshire and the surrounding areas.
Okay, I was just telling people just before you actually came on, obviously with it being like sort of VE Day and sort of vintage, the actual sort of photo booth is slightly different, isn't it, to like your sort of normal go in and just sort of sit there type of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's not like the typical style photo booths that people kind of associate with. It is kind of like an open air style, meaning that basically it's not covered, it's all open and free for people to walk through and sort of around. It's very spacious, and actually it's quite nice because you can get lots of people within that space as well for like a big group shot.
And it actually looks, I mean, the first time I ever saw it, I thought it actually looks, you know, like there's old-fashioned cameras, isn't it? You know, like sort of back in the day. When they used to have this thingy, didn't they? You know, that they used to stick your head in and then sort of do that. But, you know, I mean, to me, it actually looks a little bit like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course. I think that's kind of almost where the photo booth probably originated from in the first place. The appearance of our booths is quite unique and beautiful, really, because they're made from solid oak, and they're handcrafted by somebody based up in Yorkshire. So they've got a real personal but vintage and also beautiful oak finish to them as well. So they're perfect for sort of even kind of like a vintage style wedding. And they look beautiful in any wedding setting.
I think that's the thing of them. If you are going down the whole sort of oldie vintage theme, then they're sort of perfect for that. But even if you're not, you know, even if you, I mean, if I said like sort of a modern, because any type of wedding, because they will sit nicely, don't they? They actually sit anywhere really, so they can be like sort of a good fit, don't they?
They are luxury style booths, so even though they've got that kind of luxury feel, they look perfect within any wedding setting. We've had them in barns, teepees as well, really elegant venues as well, just you name it, they look perfect within any venue setting. They're kind of like a vintage piece of furniture that fit perfectly within that room. So no, they look lovely. I'm a bit biased, so I'm going to say they look great.
And you know what, you're entitled to be a little bit biased, but I mean, I always think they look a bit more stylish, don't they? Rather than just like your sort of run of the mill almost booth. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody
Yeah.
that has a booth, because some people want to go for that type of look, but I always think they kind of look like a little bit more elegant, don't they?
They look really elegant. There's been lots of times when we've been to events where people have always complimented and said how beautiful it looks, how elegant it looks, how it looks, just the look of it. They don't ever expect a booth to look like that, and that's kind of, it gives you that kind of like wow factor. I know that sounds cheesy, but it does have that wow factor which people really love about it. And that's kind of why we wanted to do this. We wanted people to walk into a room, see the booth, and be like, wow, that's incredible, it looks really good. So yeah, it's just got a perfect appeal and look about it, which is what we want to bring to people.
Yeah. Okay, Becca, you're based in Cambridgeshire, but whereabouts would you actually travel? How far will you go and sort of take the booth?
Yeah, so of course, so we have covered areas such as Suffolk, we've been to Essex, Peterborough, Bedfordshire, Norfolk as well. We covered those sort of areas. We can go further afield if need be, but anything outside of 50 miles we would have to probably put on an out of area charge, and that would be on a quote basis if people did get in touch with us about that.
Yeah, I suppose that's it, because if someone sort of sees the booth and they're, I don't know, hundreds of miles away, and they sort of set their heart on it, you're not going to rule it out. But obviously, if they're away from your sort of core, then you would have to look at it,
Yeah, we've had inquiries from people from Doncaster and people based in Scotland, and it shows that people have a real interest in it, and if they're willing to have something like that, then we're willing to travel, but obviously we'd have to just charge on a quote basis and see what we can do, really.
Yeah. Okay, so how does it actually work? I mean, obviously you have lots of silly hats, and you have like big glasses, and you have all of that kind of good stuff. So how does it actually work?
So we have the booth set up obviously at the venue, and it will have a backdrop as well. Then
what sort of backdrop is it? Sorry, what sort of backdrop is it, Becca?
Oh, so they're basically called tension fabric backdrops. Basically, it means that there's a pattern on the backdrop. It goes over a frame as well, and it just means that people just it's just like a normal fabric backdrop, and it's got a pattern. They're double-sided as well, so it's actually, if you wanted to alternate to a different style of backdrop, you can just simply flip it round. We've got about 10 to 15 styles, so quite popular ones there as well. And
so
we've also got
can people choose, Becca, then what backdrop that they have, or would they be able to sort of pick that beforehand?
So basically we send out a form with our backdrops on, and they can indeed choose which ones they'd like to have, or one they'd like to have for that event. And yeah, so they just decide which one, and if they change their mind later on, they're more than welcome to let us know if they wanted a different style. We've got plenty of designs for them to choose from, so it's sort of, it's all there really. We've also got a foliage backdrop as well. That's a bit of a trend in the wedding industry at the moment. Flower walls and foliage backdrops are quite a big deal, I think, over the last couple of years, so we do have that as well.
Sorry, just 2 seconds. Let me just. Sorry, Becca.
All right. It happened.
Oh, stop it! Go away. 2 seconds. There we are. I'm going to have to just put this somewhere because it will ring again. Sorry, Becca.
No worries, that's fine.
Just talk yourself.
So the backdrops, as I was discussing earlier, we have about 10 to 15, and we send out a form to the couples, and they just basically get to choose which one they'd like to have. So as Steph was saying earlier, in reference to the sort of general, how does the booth work? So there'll be a backdrop, and then there's usually about a couple of meters between the backdrop and the booth. And then the guests will go on. The booth attendant on the night will actually assist with the general running. So they kind of, the booth is very you can do it yourself, but then the booth attendant just kind of gives people that push to have a go on it and sort of show them how to use it as well. But so it's hard to explain without showing you, so you'll have to visit my website. But if you go, there's 2 screens, so you'll see yourself on the screen when you have the photo taken. Each photo will count down, usually about 10 to 15 seconds. At the end, once it's finished, the print simply comes out the side, and it's usually about 10 seconds to print out, and it's quite good quality paper as well. It's kind of like the same quality you would get at the passport machines, I'd say, kind of like passport style quality. Then once you've actually had your physical print, on the back screen is it's called the media kiosk, where you can basically you can email the photos to yourself straight from the booth. You can text them to yourself, and also it's unlimited printing, which is kind of unheard of in the booth industry. So you can actually print as many photos as you like, so that all your guests can have one.
Because often you're sort of kept to like sort of just a set number of copies, aren't you? You know, and that's the thing often, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we wanted to go that extra mile, really. We looked at the market when we first began, and we found that a lot of booth companies only did maybe a couple of copies at most, but we wanted to be unlimited, so that we wouldn't restrict everybody having a photo. It's just nice as well, because everyone gets to take as many photos as they want away with them as a memento. You can put it up on your fridge or notice board or whatever you want to do with it, really.
Yeah. I mean, I've actually got in my office sort of like various ones that I've been taken at different functions that we've sort of been to, and like sort of wedding fairs and things of myself and the grandchildren with like the big glasses and that sort of, because they are really good fun, aren't they? You know, people really like it.
Yeah, they're really, really good fun. I mean, I'm a bit biased because I obviously have this company, but I've had so many people compliment and say how much of a great time they've had on the booths, and that they've never had an experience like it. And I'm not just saying this, it is actually a very unique photo booth. It's probably one of the best photo booths on the market, I'd say, because of just the experience it brings people and the laughter and the joy it brings people as well.
Yeah, okay. So if someone wanted to actually book you up, Becca, how early should they be doing that?
So we've already started taking bookings for 2022, actually, because people really do think far ahead. People want to get all of the little bits booked in fairly early. I mean, most people book their venues and things first, but photo booths can sometimes be thought of later. But even now, people are still booking. So to book, we do have a live online booking website, and it does take a £200 deposit, and then the remaining balance can either be paid via an invoice, and that can be paid any time at least 1 month before the wedding, or what we like to do as well is do a payment plan, whereby they can decide however much they'd like to pay, whether that's 6 months, 12 months, whatever they fancy. We're really flexible. So that's kind of like another option, because a lot of people are on budgets and they don't want to fork out the money all at once. So we're quite understanding in that respect.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Sometimes, you know, if I have my wedding planning hat on, you know, I always used to say to my couples, it's kind of wants and needs. You have to take care of what your needs are, and then you move on to your wants. But once you get onto your want list, you almost need to really sort of plan ahead for it properly, don't you? Really, because if you set your heart on the photo book, it's good to be able to have that option of paying over time, because you don't miss it so much, do you, if you just pay a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's kind of hassle free as well. So we can set up a direct debit, and it just means you don't have to constantly contact us to then pay that balance every month or every week or whatever. So it's kind of hassle free, but we just wanted to be flexible and kind of show that we're not here to grab people's money. We're simply there to make things an easier process, as well as obviously bringing the booth to that person's wedding. You know, it's a personal experience, and we just want to be there every step of the way and help where we can.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have like sort of different packages, Becca? What kind of time frame, you know, are you actually there for on the course of the wedding?
Yeah, of course. So the packages depends on the booth. So we do actually have two different booths. The smaller one is called the Snap Lite, and that's the packages and the details are on the website, but I'm happy to brief on here. The Snap Lite is 3 hours long. It's for people who maybe don't want to spend quite so much on a booth. So it's kind of like lower range, middle range booth, I'd say. It's $4.95 for 3 hours hire time. The only difference with this booth as well is that it doesn't do physical prints on the day. It's a completely digital only photo booth.
Right.
However, it does still have the features of being able to share instantly from the booth to like your mobile phone, email, etc. So it's still got those really funky features. You can choose a backdrop, and you'll have a booth attendant, and as well as that, all of the booth packages have an online gallery whereby the photos go onto the gallery, and it just means that all of the guests, and including the couple as well, can access the photos at sort of 24 hours, 48 hours after the event, and they can sort of download them and share them with others still even after the event.
That's good for like sort of the couple's point of view, because you know, often I think the beauty of something like sort of the booth is the guests can have like a really good time, because sometimes the bride and groom don't get to see all of that, do they? Because they're so busy, you know, doing just getting married and stuff.
They're thinking about their day, aren't they? That, you know, they don't want to be worrying about, oh, what's going to happen with the booth, you know, that it's all handled our end, so they don't have to stress at all. The Snap, that's our Snap Lite, and we also have the Snap Booth Deluxe. The wedding package it's one of our most popular packages, and that's $6.50, and that includes 4 hours hire time, the booth attendant, the physical prints for this one, and also the gallery, and also the luxury leather guest book, which is kind of like an extra feature which some of the other packages don't include. So that's a really, really nice feature. It's great, and it just means that the booth attendant will stick all of the photos in the album. Guests can write a personalized message next to the print that they've had, and then that album goes to the couple at the end of the night as well.
That's nice. So that, you know, at some point after the wedding day, then they can enjoy those moments that their guests have been able to enjoy at that, but they possibly might not have been able to see that because they said they were so busy off doing their thing, weren't they, and sort of getting married. So they can have like a little snippet. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely. I mean, it's kind of like an extra. It's just a lovely feature. It's a lovely memento for the couple to take away at the end of the night, really.
Good. Not to put you on the spot, would you have any little sort of tips, wedding tips for like sort of couples getting married? Doesn't necessarily need to be connected to like booth, apart from book me nice and early, because I do get booked up.
I get booked up very quickly. A lot of the dates, obviously due to what's been going on, so with postponements, people are moving to next year. So if you were seriously considering booking us, I'd suggest maybe you start to have a look at this now, because we're very, very busy. I'm not just saying that just so you book us. It's true. We're very popular. We're just sort of, and we're growing, and you know, it's just I'd advise booking as early as you can, or looking at dates or something with us. Another top tip I'd say as well is you don't always have to, if you've got a nice feature wall in your venue, so like a natural brick wall or like a nice wallpaper wall, some people opt to try and utilize the venue as like a backdrop. So you don't have to have one of our backdrops. If you've got a lovely natural barn brick wall or wallpaper wall in this venue, then make the most of it. Use it as like a feature wall for your photo booth.
Because it says some of these, you know, sort of the beautiful stately homes and the country houses and some really, really nice venues. And as you say, that's a really good way of incorporating, isn't it?
Absolutely,
your venue into the actual pictures as well.
Yeah, of course.
Good.
And one thing as well to look out for is make sure that if you do plan on sort of booking a photo booth, not necessarily us, it doesn't have to be us, it can be whoever you choose to have, but make sure they have a good contract, and T&Cs as well. For us, we use DocuSign, so all of our documents are audited. We make sure that we have those and that you also have a copy as well. So that's also really important when you plan on booking a photo
Yeah.
booth, and it's just so that you've got all of the correct paperwork.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the difference, Becca, between booking a professional company who runs a professional business like yourself, as opposed to maybe somebody that's just bought a booth and just thinks, well, I'll run it on like almost like sort of a part-time hobby basis, isn't it? You know, as you say, check your T's and C's, make sure that you've got a contract, make sure that they look at people's recommendations, look at their website, look at the reviews, you know, just you know, I mean, not trying to scare people at all, but there are baddies out there. There's baddies, isn't there? You know, and that's the thing. You just need to make sure that the company you've booked are going to fulfil contract that they've said they're going to on the day, because you know we all hear such dreadful tales, don't you? And if you see it on Facebook, it must be true, mustn't it?
Horror stories, don't you? I mean, our T&Cs and lots of our information we're quite transparent. It's all on our website. On our FAQs, we have lots of details of about, you know, our T&Cs, and I think our public liability insurance is also on there, so that's probably quite good for people who want to give that to their venue. So in that way, we're very transparent.
Everything's covered, and you've crossed the T's and you dot the I's, so people can book with confidence.
Exactly.
Good. Okay, well, obviously, the SnapBooth have been taking place in the virtual wedding fair, which is taking place this weekend. This video is going to be included into the virtual wedding fair, but it's also going to be posted in lots of other places. So it'll be on our YouTube channel, it'll be on Instagram, it'll be on our main Truly Scrumptious page. So you could be watching it anytime, any place. So the virtual wedding fair may not necessarily be taking place now. It could be some other time. So if it's 8th, 9th and 10th of May, then that's where we are right here, right now on VE Day. And you'll be able to sort of get in touch with Becca there. But what I will do is when we're posting this up, we'll put the website, and we'll put your email, and we'll put your contact details. So if anyone wants to sort of get in touch with you, and why wouldn't they really, you know, to sort of book for you, then all those details will be there.
Also be sure to check out our COVID-19 page also on our website. That details a lot about if you're postponing or planning on booking at the end of the year, for example, and you're worried about the virus still. So that's something to look out for too, just to reassure people.
Good point. Okay, final apology from me.
That's okay.
I'd switch the phones off because I can be a bit forgetful, you know, woman of a certain age, what can I say? I'd switch the phones, that's sort of the mobiles off there, and and I'd forgotten I'd actually brought the house phone into the office, and that's what was ringing. And I'm trying to think, stop. So
it happened.
I am sorry. What can I say?
All right.
That's just me. Anyway, it's been lovely chatting to you as normal. And I shall speak to you again.
I'll speak to you again soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.